Hello everyone, myself Sangeeta Das. I have secured All India Rank 10 in ICAR-JRF Entomology and Nematology 2020, and I'm basically graduated from College of Agriculture, Odisha University of Agriculture and Technology, Bhubaneswar, and I'm here to share my experience and some of the strategies that you need to follow in order to crack JRF. So the first and foremost thing is of course subject selection. I strongly recommend you to select a subject in which you have interest, and because this is important, because later you are going to make your profession, your career in the subject. So it is very important to select a proper subject. Okay, then coming to the books that I followed for JRF. So the first and the foremost book is Insecta. Insecta is the basic book of entomology, and it deals basically with your morphology, physiology, and some portions of taxonomy and systematics. Now, for taxonomy, it is the basic book and standard book. I prefer this book much, and other parts are also well written. So, read this book around 20 to 25 times, or as many as it is possible. So, and remember each and every word of this book. Okay, coming to the second book, that is Principles of Applied Entomology. Now, this book is also a basic book of entomology, so you have to give around 20 readings to this book. Okay, and remember each and every word. I consider both these books very important, so you have to read them around 20 times before your exam completes. Okay, then coming to the Applied Entomology by D.S. Reddy. Now, this book basically deals with your pests, followed by your non-insect parts, like rodents, like mites, and um, portions of toxicology. So, particularly for the pest part, this book is very important, and read this book, understand, and don't skip the part of rodents and non-insect pest. Read, understand, and then proceed. Okay, so the next book is Entomology Refresher. Now, this was my basic book. By basic book, I mean that, see, you will get information from a lot of other sources, like while you're interacting with your seniors, or when you're talking to your teachers or professors, or when you're giving your mock tests. So all these information gather from all sources wherever you can, and just add those information in this book. Okay, and this will be the book which you'll read 1 month before your exam. I consider Refresher as an important book. Why? Because there is a lot of information, and every bit of that is just present in table wise and just point wise manner, that will be very easy for you to revise and remember things. Okay, so next is Entomology Treatise. Entomology Treatise is a book which is honestly so haphazardly it is written, and what happens with this is you'll not get the concepts directly. But yeah, this book is also important because some points are there, some points are totally uh, peculiar, which is present only in this book. So you have to read this. Best way to read this book is just take a marker, highlight those points which are not present in any other book, and this will save a lot of your time during the last months of your preparation, and this will help you to just be bit ahead of others. And like, see, one more important point about it is there are a lot of tables at the beginning of this book, some scientists and their contributions, and followed by appendix which is present at the end of this book is also very important. It contains about your oviposition, pupation sites, and other parts like insecticides and trade names are present. So you have to go through these tables, these areas, and cover this book, revise it more. Okay, next coming to Handbook of Entomology, which is just an advanced version of your entomology treatise. Now, some concepts are there which is present only in this book, so you can't skip it. It is necessary for you to go through those concepts and understand them. So, for better preparation, I recommend you to follow this book. Okay, so coming to the Elements of Economic Entomology. Now, this is one of the most important books. Okay, so this for beneficial insects, it is one of the standard books, and other parts like your IPM or your toxicology and toxicological equipments are present at the end of this book. So cover those areas from this book. And yeah, one more important thing is your rodents and non-insect pests. It is present in this book, and what I have observed is questions directly come from this book, particularly for the non-insect part. Now, for me, as I didn't have enough time, so I have skipped the pest part from this book. So if you have time, go through that and read it. Okay. Then coming to the objective books in entomology, the first book is on Objective Entomology by T.V. Prasad. Now this book around it has some 5,000 questions, so you have to go through this, and previous year's papers of JRF, SRF or ARS are also present, and you can do these questions. And yeah, one thing here about the objective books is that if you are doing your objective book, it may be of any subject like general agriculture, entomology, or nematology. Be very careful about cross-checking the answers. Ask your doubts to your seniors or your teachers, and then cross-check the answers. And then remember, what I want to say here is, don't just see the answers from the objective books and just remember them without understanding. Okay, don't remember the wrong things. Okay, before remembering the answers, you should be very careful to check them once. Okay, then coming to the part of nematology. Nematology, of course, the introductory plant nematology by Bajaj Walia. Now this book is the basic book of nematology, which you have to give at least around 20 readings and remember each word of this book. Okay, yeah. Next, coming to the entomology refresher. Now refresher is a very good book for me, because again it has information in tables in point-wise manner. Some exceptions will be present, some extra information about the nematodes you'll get. Yeah, one more thing is the taxonomy of the nematodes. It is very bit difficult to learn it from Bajaj Walia, but it is very easy to learn it from nematology refresher. Go through Bajaj Walia once, then go through refresher. You'll get to know the concepts actually, and then yeah, refresher is also, I mean, yeah, to some extent you can skip the economic nematology from refresher. But again, what I want to say is, this is just a 120-page book, so it will hardly take 1 week for you to complete this book. So don't skip anything, just go through it and remember things. Okay, then Guide on Nematology by Siddiqui. Now this book is basically an objective book and to some extent reliable also. But yeah, again, before remembering, cross check the answers. Then Plant Nematology at a Glance by Manjunath. Now this book is containing the information in both descriptive as well as your objective format. So read the descriptive part, remember it, it is okay, but with the objective, I am telling you, this book contains a lot of answers that are wrong. So ask your seniors and then remember the answer, because a lot of answers I have found wrong in this book. Okay, but the book is overall good, but answers are some bit wrong. Okay, next, coming to the rank deciding factor, that is your general agriculture, and this book is Nimrod Sunda, which is the skeleton of agriculture. It will tell you what agriculture is actually, and yeah, this is just will give you a lot of information about every field. When you are reading general agriculture, it is very important for you to learn subjects like agronomy, soil science, and statistics and extension. These four parts, 5 things or subjects are very important. Cover this from Sunda. Yeah, but for extension economics, you can follow other books like Arun Katyan. Arun Katyan is a good book for extension economics, because Sunda has very little information about agricultural extension and agricultural economics. Now for Arun Katyan, I'll tell that Arun Katyan usually comes in 2 volumes. Like, see, this is volume 1 Arun Katyan, this is volume 2 of Arun Katyan. So to some extent you can skip this book, that is the volume 2 of Arun Katyan, you can skip this book, but don't ever try to skip volume 1, because this is very important. Okay, and when one important tip I want to give, when you are reading general agriculture books like your made different Katyan or it is Sunda, skip the entomology and nematology portions. It is not, means nothing extra is given in that book. So as you're preparing for entomology JRF, so it is not so important for you to read these portions from the general agriculture book also. If you don't read, that will be okay. Okay, then for the objective in general agriculture, Esakantwa, of course the best book, because the error percentage of this book is almost zero, almost negligible. So you'll get more reliable answers in this book, so you have to read this and complete it. Okay, now coming to some of the strategies that you have to follow for cracking JRF exam. See, first thing is time management. Okay, that you have to prepare by yourself. Okay, because see, you will follow a timetable for yourself by keeping your schedule in mind, by keeping your strength and weakness in your mind. for me, I'll tell, I read entomology continuously for the first 3 months of my preparation. So what happened is I was good at entomology, but then when I then when I appeared for the mock test, I suddenly realized that I was lacking somewhere in nematology as well as in general agriculture. I was totally devastating. So then I focused my total attention, my total concentration in the later part of my preparation to nematology and general agriculture. That focusing on those parts on which you are weak is important. Okay. So next, coming to the second point, that is a predetermined mind concept. So what this concept is, you will assume things as you learn a lot of in you'll gather a lot of information from your head by reading different and different books. Okay. So what will happen in exam is, you'll think that this question, yeah, this question was given in the book as that, but no, first read the question in the exam, then understand the question, then try to then don't just directly jump to the options. First think about the probable answers for the question, then check the options, and then proceed by elimination method. You'll definitely get your answer correct. Okay. Then coming to yeah, one more thing is that calculated risk. Okay, what is calculated risk? Take some amount of risk in the exam because you have to, there is no other option. See, if you know the answers of 100 questions, say out of 120 you know answers of 100 questions, okay, and you're sure about that. So first do those 120 questions in your first round. In the second round, um, just see those questions which you think you have a 50-50 doubt, like you think that these two options cannot be, but you are confused with the other two options. So take those questions, pick them up, and try to proceed by elimination method, because elimination is a thing which will make you reach at the right answer. Okay. So you don't know which answer will be, but you know which answer will not be. So cut those options and you'll get to the right one. Okay. So calculated risk, I was saying that yeah, if you know about if you know about 100 out of 120 questions as your shot, attempt them, and rest for the rest but you have to like rest 20 questions you don't know. So just attempt at least 15 of them by your logical reasoning and just guessing logically. Attempt those questions. Okay, at least if you get 10 out of those 15 that you have guessed is correct, then you will be in a greater advantage over other candidates, because you know every mark counts. So you will be in a greater advantage. So that will make the difference in your ranks, and this is the thing that will actually decide your rank, because those 100 questions that you have attempted, which you have sure shot attempted, that will be known to every other candidate who has also appeared or who has also read the ebooks or other Angra notes. They will also answer that, because these are fundamental things. So you have to be a bit ahead. And yeah, second thing is that just be very confident about your preparation. And yeah, one more thing is that take help from your seniors, because they will give you the right guidance. And one more thing, yeah, join many there are many channels, many WhatsApp groups which are of course not free, but you can join these channels and give the mock test regularly. This will make you know where you stand actually. So from there you can assess which is your weak part, which are your weakness and strengths, so accordingly you can prepare further. So I just wish you could crack the JRF 2021. So all the best. Thank you.